You walk into a room you have never visited. A stranger says something you have never heard, and yet, for one impossible second, you are certain you have been here before. You have lived this exact moment. Then it slips away, and you are left with a strange question. What just happened inside your head? That feeling has a name, déjà vu, French for already seen, and almost everyone gets it. Around 2 out of 3 people report it at some point in their lives. It is more common when you are young, and it slowly fades as you get older, which is our first real clue. For centuries, nobody could study it. Déjà vu is fast, random, and gone before you can point to it. You cannot summon it on command. So for a long time, people filled the gap with magic, past lives, parallel universes, glitches in reality, a message from a future self. But over the last 20 years, scientists finally cornered it. And the truth is stranger than the myths. Because déjà vu is not a memory, it is your brain catching itself in a mistake. Start with how memory actually works. When you experience something, 2 different things happen at once. One part of your brain stores the details, the other part simply tags how familiar the moment feels. Normally, these 2 travel together. You remember your friend, and they feel familiar. Both signals agree. Déjà vu is what happens when they split apart. The familiarity signal fires, loud and certain. This is familiar, but the memory system finds nothing to back it up. There is no actual memory. So your brain hands you a contradiction, a powerful sense of familiarity attached to a moment you know is brand new. Where does that false signal come from? The answer sits deep in your temporal lobe, in a region called the rhinal cortex. This is the part that flags familiarity. And here is the smoking gun. People with temporal lobe epilepsy often feel intense déjà vu in the seconds before a seizure, as electrical activity ripples through that exact area. When doctors gently stimulate that region during surgery, patients report déjà vu on demand. The feeling has a physical address in your brain. So one leading idea is simple. Every now and then, that familiarity region misfires. A tiny hiccup of electrical activity in a healthy brain with no seizure at all. It whispers, "This is familiar," when nothing is. But there is a second theory, and it might be even more revealing. It is called the gestalt hypothesis, and it comes from the work of psychologist Anne Cleary. Her idea is that déjà vu is triggered by shape, by the layout of a scene. Imagine you walk into a hotel lobby you have never seen. But the arrangement of the room, the couch here, the lamp there, the doorway in the corner, secretly matches a classroom from your childhood. You do not consciously remember the classroom, but your brain notices the resemblance. It feels the familiarity of the pattern without recalling the source. Cleary tested this in a brilliant way. She built scenes in virtual reality, then showed people new scenes that secretly shared the same spatial layout. And it worked. People reported déjà vu right on cue, without ever recognizing why. The familiarity was real. The memory it pointed to was just hidden. So which theory is right? Probably both. Sometimes it is a misfire. Sometimes it is a hidden pattern. But researcher Akira O'Connor found something that ties it all together. Using brain scanners, he expected to see the memory regions light up during déjà vu. They did not. Instead, the frontal areas lit up. The parts that make decisions and check for errors. That changed everything. It means déjà vu is not your memory failing, it is your memory being checked. Your brain notices the mismatch, raises a flag, and reviews itself. That uneasy feeling is the sensation of your mind fact-checking its own experience in real time, which finally explains our first clue. Why is déjà vu more common when you are young? Because a young brain has a sharp, aggressive error-checking system. It catches the mismatch and sounds the alarm. As you age, that system relaxes. It lets more small errors slide, so the alarm rings less often. Déjà vu fading is not your memory getting better. It is your inner reviewer getting quieter. There is even a mirror image of it. Some people experience jamais vu, the opposite. A familiar word or place suddenly feels completely alien, as if you are seeing it for the very first time. Same glitch, flipped. The familiarity signal switches off when it should be on, so the next time it happens, try to notice it before it fades. That eerie shiver is not a message from another life. It is not a crack in the universe. It is something quieter and far more impressive. It is the sound of your brain refusing to be fooled, a system so careful that it will interrupt your entire day just to double-check a single second of your life. You have not been here before. Your mind is simply making very sure.